Hi, my name's Joseph Kowalski. And I'm here to tell you.
Welcome to Apple.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can You Not? We are here once again to give you all your philosophical news, culture ramblings.
None of my topic is news.
I was about to say, I don't know if mine is much news, but
Brian, would you like to share what your topic is?
my topic is apocalypse/zombie apocalypse, whichever you would like to discuss.
I stumbled across an article from a couple years ago, from September of 2015. It's called Tinder and the Dawn of the Dating Apocalypse. And the subline is, as romance gets swiped from the screen, some 20-somethings aren't liking what they see. And basically the whole article is about how love is dead, romance is dead, millennials killed love, now we just swipe and we just want sex all the time. So they said it's the biggest evolution, or how did they phrase this? I want to find this because it was like the most over-exaggerated quote. A research scientist at Indiana University's Kinsey Institute for Research says, it is unprecedented from an evolutionary standpoint. There have been two major transitions in heterosexual mating in the last 4 million years, and one of them is right now. I'm like, what?
Wait, there were two?
Yeah, they're saying the first was around 10 to 15,000 years ago in the agricultural revolution, when we became less migratory and more settled. He said, in the second major transition is with the rise of the internet.
Transition.
For
I
how
thought you were
much they
saying
call our generation dramatic, they seem to very much over-dramatize every single thing that we do. Every single thing.
Right.
Tinder, college sex app. Why is it ruining love?
Yeah, it's
Why?
the downfall of all
How,
mating.
I feel like all we did was make it economical. Now instead of wasting months on somebody who sucks, you can just go, you know what, it's okay.
Right.
It's the same thing you do at a bar. You look at the person. Do I want to? Now all you have is like a profile that states what their interests are. If it literally says my interests are sex, you can swipe away.
There we go.
And then the other thing too is that if that's what you're looking for, you have a Tinder.
Exactly.
And some people get relationships out of Tinder that last a lot of time. Or there are other things you can use. There are other dating sites where you can say, I'm looking for a long-term relationship or what have you, and then it makes it easier because when you actually just see what people are looking for, it's way easier than trying to tease it out of their conversation.
Exactly.
If you're interested in this same thing.
You have to go on 6 dates before you find out their intentions.
Instead of sitting on the other side of the bar looking at the guy over there going, is he gay? Is he gay? You don't have to do that anymore. Because it says it.
And I've met 2 of my long-term relationship on dating apps. It's not just for a quick one night stand.
If you don't want it to
Exactly.
be, it could be though.
It's what you make of it. Just like any relationship, just like how older relationships worked. It is what you make of it.
And I feel like it's better to meet more people and see that there are people who have similar interests and who identify themselves the same as you. I don't know.
Yeah, the article was written for Vanity Fair, and this I can just picture, because most of this article is literally just little anecdotes, the reporter interviewing a bunch of 20-somethings. So I'm just picturing this this reporter going around at bars and being like, oh, tell me about your swiping experience, and then writing an entire article off of 5 people talking about
about Tinder.
Yeah, about Tinder and stuff.
Anybody ever came up to me in any context and said, tell me about your swiping experience, I think I might resort to violence. I don't...
I'd be like, what does that mean?
What are you talking about? How many assholes do you think went swipe left? When he asked them that, or she
oh my god, yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I do agree to some extent that it has changed dating. Like, that can't be denied. But I don't think it's necessarily an evil thing. I mean, there's certain bad things. Maybe it's easier to harass people online and stuff like that when it
It's
comes
also
to this kind of
easier to
stuff.
ignore people who harass you online than it is to ignore them in real life, though.
Yeah.
That's true. It's easier to block somebody than do it in real life, unless you
Yeah.
get, like,
Or
a
just
warrant.
not look.
I think you could take a step back and look in, like, overall social dynamics have changed, especially, I mean, the internet's changed, like, everything. But, like, I feel like there's a lot more to be said about how much harder it is to communicate with people, like, in any way in real life, especially, like, meeting people in any context in real life is now, I think, much harder just because a lot of people don't practice that anymore, because there are easier ways to get to know people. And honestly, like, I don't think that's necessarily, I mean, it can be a bad thing, but on the other hand, like, I prefer to talk to somebody online first, because if we can't even strike up a conversation online, there's no way that meeting up or trying to, like, interact with that person would make any sense.
Ultra awkward.
Right. Like, whereas if I can talk to somebody online, then it's only going to be, like, mostly awkward in real life instead of all the way terrible. So,
And a stunning turn of events due to just aging in general. She even interviews a 29-year-old who's complaining that online dating isn't even the same as how it used to be, in a bad way.
what?
So, like, he says, I would consider myself an old school online dater.
What does that mean?
Back when I was 21.
Old school online dating.
Back when I was 21, it wasn't easy. There were no pictures. You had to impress somebody with just what you wrote. So I met this girl on there who actually lived around the corner from me, and that led to 8 months
There
of
were
the best
no
sex I ever
pictures.
had. But then she found a boyfriend, and I was like, respect him out. Now it's completely different because everyone is doing it. It's not like this little secret anymore. It's profiles that are like airbrushed with lighting and angles, and girls who will send you pictures of their pussies without even knowing your last name.
Do girls do that? Because your boys do
I
that.
think a lot more boys do that.
I don't understand this heterosexual dynamic because gays have had these dating apps for like years before
What
you
the
guys had
heck?
them.
I mean, they modeled Tinder after like
It's
the
Grindr.
gay apps, right? Like Grindr, yeah.
After Grindr was around 3 to 4 years.
Literally, I've never heard anybody complaining about vagina pictures except for this
Never
one
heard that
moment.
complaint.
Like,
Never.
and I'm not saying that unsolicited vagina pictures don't
I
happen.
feel weird.
but-
I would feel weird if I got I mean, what the heck?
Brian is imagining the experience of women everywhere right now from the other side.
Brian feels this sudden connection.
What is this?
For real, you just look down and you're like, what?
You're like, why?
Why is this here? I'm not talking to you anymore.
Oh, okay. Swipe left.
Was there more to the sad old person?
Oh, yeah.
The sad old 30
Old
29-year-old
person.
29-year-old ancient man. No, it's just basically like people talking about. They do mention queer relationships like really, really briefly towards the end of the article, but it is such a small part of the article that it seems kind of an
You
insult.
guys are living our existence like 7 years ago. It's so interesting. It's so radical.
But did gay people complain about Grindr?
And other apps?
Yeah.
I don't, not really. No. It's because we aren't dominated by heteronormativity. We're not dominated by Christianity in a sense. Like our
Like
whole
you
concept-
have to do this this
like
way.
our concept of relationship is based off of like biblical standards. Like even people that are atheists still base their relationships in the societal context after the Bible because it's so ingrained in our society.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel like it's like it is really mainstream now, but if you were looking for something like that was specific, especially like if you were a gay person and you were on Grindr or something, like before Tinder was a thing, or like even before that, I don't know what else you'd use. Like just the idea that you had something that you could use for this purpose, I feel like would overshadow like maybe, I don't know, any critique you might have of it if it was widely available. So just like, I don't know, the use of it might have made it less
And
complained about.
they act like there are literally no other ways to find dates now. Like you can still go to a party and find
100%.
Meet people at school, meet people
Exactly.
at work.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not really that hard. I just don't like anybody, so.
There is this really funny part of the article where it's just these two girls complaining about Tinder dates they've been on. One quote, "If a guy can't get hard," Rebecca says, and I have to say that happens a lot, they just act like it's the end of the world. At 4 a.m, this guy was so upset, and I was like, dude, I'll just go to sleep. It's okay. And then someone else says, when I see limp dicks coming at me, I'm like, oh my god, says Courtney, putting her fingers in the sign of a cross as if to ward off a vampire.
See?
Weirdos.
I didn't want that.
See?
I didn't want that. I didn't want either of those.
This article makes
See?
it sound like
right there.
the whole world is full of perverted women.
It
And
is.
They all.
Well, yeah,
Just
everyone's,
want
like, there's a lot of perverted people in the world.
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, vagina pictures,
Oh.
women complaining about the sex not being, it's just weird.
So in my very brief search for a topic today, during electronics too, I Googled the psychology of apocalypse. It's not even a grammatically sound phrase, but I did get
Apocalypse.
apocalypse, the plural of apocalypse. Shelby. Okay.
Just like, got your ass.
Don't apologize. He should be apologizing. So anyway, I found a Scientific American article, and it's from 2012. And it's called "Psychology Reveals the Comforts of the Apocalypse." And this was right before that whole Mayan calendar thing was supposed to happen on December
yes.
21st.
Which it did happen. We're just
Right.
living in the aftermath.
That's true. They found that there are people that I'm trying to find the quote in the article, but people actually like the apocalypse. Like, some people wanted it to happen, and it
I'm
actually
ready for
brought
it.
a bunch of people together. And
I'm ready for the apocalypse.
this person said that they suspect that some apocalyptic believers find the idea that the end is nigh to be validating. Individuals with history of traumatic experiences, for example, may be fatalistic. For these people, finding a group of like-minded fatalists is reassuring. There may also be comfort in being able to attribute doom to some larger cosmic order, such as an ancient Mayan prophecy. This kind of mythology removes any sense of individual responsibility. And then later in the article, they talk about how, like, deciding that it's a certain day makes them more comfortable, because if you expect something bad to happen and you know when it's going to happen, it takes the unsure, like, all the worry out of it, because you know exactly when it's going to happen, you know what's going to happen. So they did, like, a study where they told somebody, we're going to shock you on the finger, and, like, in 10 minutes, and they were much less stressed than the people who were told, we're going to shock you on the finger at some point soon. Like, because then you're worried and you don't know if it's coming, but if you're, like, aware that it's coming. So I thought that was interesting, that, like, there's some people who, like, really dig the apocalypse psychologically. I don't know.
And, yeah, Brian, tell us, why do you dig apocalyptic
Because
visions?
I don't know. I just feel like, at least for me, it's like a fresh start in my mind. Like, I feel like the world is just hitting a restart button, and then everything will start back over. I mean, like, you know, they talk about, like, the story in the Bible of Noah where, like, you know, world floods. Now we have two of each animal. Restart.
Original apocalyptic story.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of bullshiggity out there. And we need to hit the restart.
I won't have to censor that one, too. That's good.
Another thing, or did you have something to add?
Oh, no, keep going.
Okay, another thing that it says, this is a quote from one of the people who did some study. I had to read the whole thing. One trait I see linking the two is the feeling of powerlessness, often connected to a mistrust in authority. Among conspiracy theorists, these convictions of mistrust and impotence, I think it's importance, make their conspiracies more precious and real. People feel like they have knowledge that others do not. So, like, you know, the apocalypse thing is really big among some conspiracy theorists. You know, the Mayan calendar thing, or the what was that thing where, like, all the good people were just gonna be zapped to heaven, everybody else was just gonna die on earth.
The rapture.
The rapture, yeah. Heaven zap, right? I feel like
That
that
sounds like a great, like, festival name.
Zap.
Heaven Zap 2017.
that's what was happening in War of the Worlds when the aliens were zapping
Maybe
Ooh,
that's
it was
what
the
happened when
rapture.
Donald Trump became president.
the
The rapture happened.
Race war
And we were just left
27?
behind.
But let me.
I do think that there's a sort of, it kind of plays into any sort of escapism that we find. That's why people love, like Star Wars. It's a reality different from our own, you know, and that maybe
The
I'm
Walking
not
Dead.
right. Maybe I'm not a hero. Here I just have, in this world I have a regular job. I go to school, but in that world I could have a lightsaber and take on bad guys. I think the same thing would happen with an apocalypse. Like in this world I just have a boring life, but if there was an apocalypse, I could be like a hero. I could help, help survive, save my friends,
He gets it.
smash zombies in the head. Like it plays into the hero complex.
But not only that, well, at least for me, like I said, it's like a restart, but it takes away a lot of the stress that society has put on us, like, to live in this world. You know what I mean? You have to have a job. You have to buy groceries. You have to do this. You have to pay for electric. When the apocalypse is here, like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, we don't have power. I don't have to stress over, like, do I have to go to school tomorrow? Do I have to?
But you have to stress over the electricity and the lack of
But
it.
look, now I can grow my own food.
How are you
I don't
gonna
have to
store
worry
it?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Well, I personally have an apocalypse plan, but I'm gonna save that for my next time.
I'm terrified of the apocalypse. I don't want that to ever happen.
Okay, I would just like to go on record saying I really, really like industry and the infrastructure that we have right now.
But you
It
could
works
restart.
well for me.
Think
Thank
about
you.
it. You could
Restart
build
and do
your
what?
own.
Do you know what good an electrical engineer is without infrastructure?
But look,
None.
You know how many concerts that could go on without lights and
This is
microphones?
everything I am,
It's everything
right?
else.
Me too. I do movies. I understand. But I don't know. Something about The Walking Dead and things like that.
So it's interesting that you guys brought that up because I was just reading this and this is another quote. It says, I talk to kids in my practice and they see it as a good thing. They say life would be so simple. I'd shoot some zombies and wouldn't have to go to school. In both
Simple.
literature and in speaking with patients, this person noticed that people frequently romanticize the end of times. They imagine surviving, thriving, and going back to nature. So that's literally what you guys were just saying.
Exactly.
Which is...
It's like, obviously I don't want it to happen actually. But to think about it, it's kind of like...
I think when we're given benefits for a long time as a society, I think we have some people will always have a need to want to reclaim the things, even though that might not be necessarily a good thing. For example, fascism right now. A lot of people only have the freedom to even flirt with fascism, like all these stupid neo-Nazis on Twitter, because they've never had to live in a fascist regime. It's so far removed from their experiences that it seems alluring to them. So I think this idea of like going back to nature and stuff always sounds like really like, oh man, that'd be really nice. But I think it's because we have the luxury to not live out in the middle of the woods, and stuff like that. There is like this
I have a home, I
romanticism
have
to it.
electricity, I have running water.
Right.
Water is important.
So I can watch
I have
The Walking
plumbing.
Dead and
Love
go, this is
plumbing.
awesome.
Plumbing is great. What
I
a
have
great
toilet paper I
invention.
can purchase. No, but the reason that I Googled this actually was because of how many, like, post-apocalyptic things, like, it's so saturated, like, in movies and stuff, because the Hunger Games happened, and then we had Divergent,
Yes.
which I haven't even seen Divergent, because it just looked like the Hunger Games all over again. And then my favorite book series is Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, and that's, oh, Shelby knows about that, yay! But,
The finger whack.
that was magical. But that one was really good, and that one actually I think came out before Hunger Games, way better. But like a young adult world land is just full of that stuff, and I was interested in why, but I guess it kind of answers itself because people do sort of like, first of all, it's a distraction and it's an interesting one, and
Yeah.
it's like it's not super far-fetched to imagine the government taking over everything or something really bad happening and like the population being decreased a lot, and seeing people fighting against that is really empowering. So I feel like I just answered my own, like, because that's actually what I was looking for when I Googled that, but I think I just figured part of it out.
a lot of apocalyptic scenarios will personify something we're already afraid of. Like, and this plays into a lot of horror movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Like, maybe one reason we're so, like, some people are afraid of zombies is because we're afraid of infection and bacteria. And a zombie is literally like a walking infection that will get you, you know? But it's not like this small germ that we don't see. It's like a literal thing that we can see and fight, you know? And that's kind of, I think that's nice to our brains. Like, we like that when we can, you know, see our fears and take them on.
And when you see people fighting against them and winning,
Yeah.
I think is really... Because, you know, that is kind of the whole thing, like, with these stories, and with any story, honestly, because you like to see people fighting against something and winning against it, because, like, I don't know, that's where everybody wants to be at, but,
Right.
I don't know, apocalypse just got really big very suddenly.
It did. This 21st century apocalypse thing is... Yeah.
We're all pretty sure we're all gonna die, so everybody's just really
wouldn't-
interested in it.
I wouldn't last long in the apocalypse. I'd be gone.
I'm ready for it.
I'd be gone within probably a week.
I'm ready right now.
No, I'm gonna die.
The survivors.
Save my cat. Take him with you.
Depends on the apocalypse, but what?
But you know what doesn't have to be an apocalypse? Your tampon situation. Am I right, ladies? Amber, Amber, would you like to read the mission statement of LOLA? It's the first 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, I would. Dear, okay, the first 2 paragraphs. Okay, Lola says, we care about the ingredients in the food we eat and the beauty products we use. Why shouldn't the same be true of our tampons? Lola was founded with a simple and seemingly obvious idea. Women shouldn't have to compromise when it comes to tampons. Since Lola was created by women for women, we created a product we'd want to use ourselves. Lola tampons are 100% natural and 100% easy to feel good about. Unlike major tampon brands, Lola offers complete transparency about the ingredients found in their tampons. No BS, no mystery fibers, no more doubts about what's going in your body. Lola tampons are 100% cotton with no added chemicals, fragrances, synthetics, or dyes. Which is cool because I've been reading articles about other tampon things. They have carcinogens in them. No. Is the answer
Do you want
to
to be
carcinogen tampons.
Would you rather be putting the equivalent of like a bunch of cigarettes inside you? Or would you rather get pure organic with lots of clean materials? So if you would like to try Lola tampons, you can get 50% off your first 2-box order by going to trymylola, LOLA.com/canyounot. It helps us, it helps them, and honestly, it helps you. So once again, that's www.trymylola.com/canyounot.
With all these different apocalyptic stories that are out nowadays, Hunger Games, Walking Dead, so on and so forth, I personally have a plan for multiple different apocalypses.
Oh, man.
I just wanted to know what you guys would do besides die. Like, obviously,
Besides die.
at some point we're gonna die, if there's an apocalypse or not. But if there's a zombie apocalypse right now, what is your tactic for staying alive?
Okay, you're gonna have to give me more details than that.
Okay, so at least on The Walking Dead, the thing is that when you die, like everyone that dies has this disorder. They wake up and you have to smash their head, and like they try to eat you.
Where's patient 0? What's the media coverage like? Do I even know
They
about
don't really
it?
know all of that. Like, it just spread really quickly. Like,
Would I even have time to have a plan?
Airborne, basically.
Yeah.
Everybody is infected.
yeah,
So
that's kind
even
of the
if
assumption.
You get scratched, it doesn't matter. When you die, you will
get-
come back.
So if you get bit by the zombie, you turn into a zombie, and if you die, you turn into a
So
zombie.
you're just trying not to die. Basically.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of it depends on luck. Like, is there somebody in my building who has a plan and lots of canned food? Yes,
That
I have a
person.
plan now. Like, that is my plan.
But you yourself wouldn't plan for it.
Well, honestly, I don't really see a reason to.
Are you giving us time to plan it before it actually happens, or are you saying like
Yes,
it
before it
happens?
happens.
Oh, you mean like come up with a plan right now?
Yeah,
I
I
cry
have a plan.
a lot.
That's based off of me watching the shows. So like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, right? My house is at the corner of this street. Like, it's like in the back in the cut, right? So I'm gonna get a bus and I'm gonna block off.
You're gonna get a bus.
I don't know. I'm gonna steal it.
This isn't a plan.
No, I know where I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
steal
get
it
the
from.
magic school bus stuff.
And I'm gonna block off the corners of the street, right? We're gonna put our house on lockdown.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the Walmart, which we are literally like in the backyard of this Walmart.
True.
We're
Going
gonna
to the
get
big
all the
grocery
guns
stores
and
always-
water and food we can, because it's a super Walmart.
But there's gonna be a lot of people.
That's where
Who
everybody's
cares?
gonna
We're going in
go.
the back.
Everybody's gonna be in the Walmart though.
But
Maybe
everyone's
everybody
in the Walmart. We are in the back of the Walmart.
But how are you gonna get into
When
the
you
Walmart?
get to the Walmart to get all the stuff, there's gonna be a billion people in there. And there are probably gonna be.
But we'll be the first ones there.
Only if
We're
you're the
right
first people
there.
to know about it. Like, what if you don't know about the
People aren't
apocalypse?
gonna know about it. That's the thing. It's gonna start in the really dense populated areas. I know Cleveland is kind of dense, but I think won't start here. And so everybody will just be in Walmart because they think it's a normal day.
Either way.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it. There'll already be people there shopping when the
Yeah.
news hits.
Oh, I just mean like.
But we're not going into like the regular shopping area. If it's like crazy, we're going into the back.
He's like,
Well,
you know,
only if
man,
it's-
we're
what
not
if
in
it's-
Walmart.
What
We're
if
in a
it's
different
locked?
part of
You'll
Walmart.
probably have to go in the
We're
front.
getting in there.
Your plan has a lot of.
Holes.
We're getting in. Trust me.
Okay.
Then-
Okay.
So I'm
then.
trusting that you're gonna find the bus for some reason. Why
I
are you
know
getting
where
the
to get
bus?
the buses.
You're gonna get two buses because he had closed off both.
I live
How are you
near-
gonna drive the bus? Where are the keys?
I'm gonna learn how to
I knew you were
Oh
Brian's
my.
gonna spend 2 years getting his bus license and legally get it and become a school bus driver just in case.
But
You gotta
also,
learn how to drive a stick first too.
oh, you're right.
So I read the zombie survival guide in like junior high, and I just remember thinking that the smartest idea they had in that book, that is totally not even remotely attainable, is you set up a system wherein you have both a helicopter fuel for the helicopter and somebody knows how to fly the helicopter, and you set up camp on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean because they know a zombie is going to be there. And then if somebody turns into a zombie, you just like kick them off the oil rig and then they're in the ocean and they can't get to you. So it's really solid if you can get there and you have food. You could fish though, like, so if somebody knows how to fish, that's what you could eat.
But also, my house is near this huge like field, so we can hunt for deer because we always get deer back there.
What
We
if
could
all the
stay
zombies
there.
are running around in the
That's
field?
what I
What if there's
said.
zombie
I said
deer and then you
all
eat the
people
deer
from
that's a zombie?
Walmart are gonna go up into the back,
You're right.
and so you know
They're
what I
gonna
mean.
die, and then they're gonna be there.
And the other thing too is if you have a bunch of people panicking and they have firearms and they want food, people are gonna kill each other, like in that Walmart.
True.
Just gonna start more zombies.
Did anyone learn from the Hunger Games? You never go to the cornucopia.
That's true. That's true.
That is
So we have to go to the most
You
isolated.
need to go to the trees and be up in them trees and find Rue real quick, and you good. Okay, you feel me, fam? Find Rue and you're good.
You go to that sketchy gun store near LC.
Terrifying thing ever. It looks like a bomb shelter.
It does, with their little sign
Maybe we
outside.
double well as a bomb shelter. Then
Oh
you
my
get all the
god.
ammo.
I'm trying to think what
Did you say the
store.
duck
But you know,
factory is gone?
Well, Bryce and I have talked about this, and Bryce had a good idea. Dick's Sporting Goods would be good because you
Yeah.
have
No,
lots
a
of
lot of people be there
survival.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's
That's
It's the same. No, it's the
Okay.
exact same problem as Walmart.
that's
Exactly.
true. That's
But also, we already have like an emergency like kit at our house, like
Band-Aids and
Like, no, like well, there's like a first aid kit, and then there's like canned
We could blow up
food.
Walmart.
How are you gonna blow up Walmart?
And what would that accomplish? Then more people are dead.
You say blow up Walmart, like blowing up that size of building would be some easy thing.
You take Brian's bus and you ram it into the side of the building.
Then there's just a hole in the Walmart. You didn't blow up the Walmart.
Blow it up like you could like put.
No, blow it up like have a party, like the last
Why
apocalyptic
would we blow
party.
it up though?
Okay, never mind, because that's not what I was saying.
Let me tell you what I would do, because I haven't said yet.
Walmart, we're coming for you. Just know that.
I would spend the next year loading up on however much weed I can get my hands on. I'm not doing this without being inebriated the whole time. If I'm gonna be living in this future, I better be f***ed up constantly, because there's no way.
Dude, Joe the Zombie is gonna be the easiest kill.
Joe the Zombie.
Just laying on the couch. We don't even know he's a zombie.
He's probably
yet.
gonna be like cracking corny jokes as a zombie too. Like he's like, I'm gonna eat ya. Joe's like, I'm gonna eat you all. Joe, are you a zombie yet?
Okay, so I just came up with an idea. Okay, so you know how when you go into like any store, I mean like you go into Giant Fabrics, like you go in anywhere, they have like candy bars.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to a different store that has nothing to do with it, and you take all their pop, because it's not water, but it is sterile drinking stuff, and you take all the candy, because it's not great, but at least it's food, and it has like peanuts and stuff in it, and people aren't going to be going to Giant Fabrics if it's the apocalypse.
For food.
Right. So you raid the cooler, then you run in the back and you take their like boxes of Powerade and you run.
You'll also be the warmest because you'll have so many fabrics on top of you. Because
You have so many scented candles. It's going to be the best smelling base.
we're gonna put a
We use the candles to burn the zombie.
Just a
But it
friendly
won't
I thought she was gonna say to set Walmart on fire.
This is how we're going to blow up Walmart.
Walmart smells
No,
great.
I got the best idea. We'll blow up Jo-Ann Fabrics, and the scent of the candles will spread throughout the land.
You just ruined Amber's plan.
Do you know,
By blowing
I just
up
want you to
Joe.
think about the percentage of scented candles compared to the percentage of like burning metal and building. Like I don't think you're gonna smell the candles.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it'll be great because now our zombie base is gonna have really cute throw pillows. Like
When you burn the zombies, the flesh smell will be.
And you know what? Everyone's gonna want to have all these like intense underground bunker forts. We can have a pillow fort. No one will be expecting that.
a zombie just
You know what I
punches
just
through
thought of?
it. You stretch out in the morning and you break the house. Like
And there's like
Who was it? Was it
12,000
Brianna that we were
zombies.
talking about? Is gonna be the one. Oh no, Taylor is gonna be the one that has the hair. Our friend Taylor, we watched The Walking Dead with her. She said the first thing she's gonna do is get her hair done.
She
Again,
said she's gonna shave all her hair off. She said that's the first thing she's gonna do is get her hair done.
That's smart though.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
good.
said.
I'm going
But I
Michonne
just
and I'm
said
keeping my
my
lock.
hair
Less
is
fuss, the
burning.
better, right?
Yeah, I mean that's good too.
Yeah, I'm
That
just
is
gonna
like-
keep my hair like this. Put a do-rag on
Oh
it.
yeah. You
The
do it,
less
bro.
to slow you down friction-wise. I'd
I'm
have to
keeping my
shave off my
locks.
beard so
I'm
I could
gonna
run
be the male
faster.
Michonne.
Exactly, that's me.
That-
I am Michonne.
you're like,
or I could just hide out in the room I do my research in because there aren't any windows.
Oh, just like our
you just die a slow death in there.
I'll be doing my research though as I'm crying, trying to get the program to work.
How would things go if there was a really zombie?
I'd be dead.
Amber,
At least here.
we're gonna keep you as our electrician, so you.
But
get
here's
the
the
power
thing.
back
Here's the
on.
thing. Here's the thing. I can pretend like I could do that. I can do calculus. I'm not an electrician
Do
though.
physics.
I can pretend to do physics sometimes.
Well.
I believe in you.
Before we recap what we learned today, I do want to thank Bearded Fruit, first of all, for having on Jesse for their extended interview with him to cover his new EP. You should definitely check it out. We reblogged it on our page. And also, I want to thank Bearded Fruit for reblogging our last episode. Not about dinosaurs.
Hey.
So-
The crying dinosaur was amazing, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Jesse's sipping tea.
Literally, I'm sipping tea.
Literally sipping tea. But what did we learn today, fam?
You went
First, I
first.
always forget that part. So I learned that, guys, we did an incredible thing. We, as a generation, managed to evolve mating for the second time in human history ever, all on our lonesome. So that's what I learned today.
I'm impressed with us. I learned that we're all very helpless feeling, so we like the end of the world.
I learned 2 things. One, my plan is and number 2, Walmart is
If you want to check out more episodes, you can go to soundcloud.com/CYN podcast. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on iTunes. And if you leave us a review, we will read your review on the air. You can email us any feedback, suggestions, ideas at canyounotpodcast@gmail.com. You can probably find us on your favorite podcasting app. But overall, as it comes for the apocalypse, can you not? I would not live.
No, I'm dead.
Can you not, except for on TV? Love it.
We need to do a video episode so that way people can see this tomfoolery that occurs.
We should do a special video.
Because I really wish they could see Zombie Joe that Brian enacted because, oh my god, it was magical.